Hi and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to set up the Maono PD400X with the Maono Link software so that you've got access to the custom EQ settings. Now originally the software only allowed you to have 4 different presets in the advanced panel of the software. However, Maono have updated the software and you now have access to a 3-band and 7-band equalizer so that you can customize the EQ on the microphone. Now, to have access to the custom EQ settings in the software, you need 2 things. First of all, you need to make sure that you've got the latest version of the software, or at least you've got access to version 2.2.1 or above. The second thing that you need is to make sure that the firmware on your PD400X is at least version 1.2.0. The first thing to do, assuming you don't already have the software, is to go to the Maono website to their download page. I'll put a link in the description to the download page. Now, when you get to the page, scroll down and you'll see that there are 3 different versions of the software for Windows, Mac and Android. Choose the one that you need and click download. Once the software has downloaded, you'll need to unzip the folder and run the executable file. You can see that I have got the latest version, which is 2.2.1, which is what we need to be able to get the custom EQ settings in the software. So let that install, and once the software has installed, make sure your microphone is connected to the computer and open the software. Once you start the Maono Link software, you'll see your microphone on the screen. Now, don't click on that. What you need to do is just click on the gear wheel here, and you'll see that here you can it gives you the version of the software. So you'll do this if you had already downloaded the Maono Link software and installed it beforehand. So remember, you need version 2.2.1 or later. So this is good, so we can come back out of that and we can now go into the software. I'm currently in the advanced panel, which is fine, and you can see that under EQ I only have the flat, high pass, the present boost and the high pass and present boost presets here. I don't have a custom version because we now know that the software is the version that we do need. Obviously, it must be the firmware on this microphone that isn't up to date. So we have another gear wheel just here. So click on that. And indeed, you can see that I'm currently running version 1.1.0 and not version 1.2.0, which you need to be able to have access to the custom EQ settings. So we obviously need to update the firmware. So I'll show you how to do that now. On the panel here, you've got check for firmware update and factory reset. So if anything goes wrong, you can roll back to the version that was originally on the microphone. So let's click on check for firmware update. And you can see that there is a firmware update available. It's version 1.2.0 and it's asking me to update now or to cancel. I'm going to select update now, and we just need to be a little patient. You can see that it's downloading the firmware and it'll update it in a moment. The upgrade of the firmware has been successful, so just click on yes. And it's telling us that we need to disconnect the microphone and then reconnect it. So let's just do that. So I've unplugged and replugged the microphone into my laptop. The software has restarted or reconnected. So let's click on the microphone on the panel. And now you can see that we also have a custom button in the EQ section of the advanced part of the software. We still have access to flat, high pass, presence and high pass plus presence, but we also have custom. So once you're into the custom EQ, you've got two different versions that you can use. You've got standard, which gives you 3 bands that you can adjust. That's the 100 Hz, 1 kHz and 10,000 kHz bands. And you would just grab the slider here and move it up and down. Once you've made the change that you want, just click on confirm. I don't want to keep that, so I'll click reset. The other choice that you have is advanced, and this gives you far more options. You can see that you've got 7 different frequency bands to play with, so that's how to upgrade your Maono Link software to gain access to the custom EQ settings that are now available in version 2.2.1 with a firmware of 1.2.0 or better. I do have other videos about the Maono PD400X and the Maono Link software. If you'd like to see those, I'll put links on the screen and down in the description. If you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe. And to make sure you don't miss any of my new videos, smash that notification bell. And I would like to say a big thank you to all my viewers who have used the links down in the description to support this channel. It means a great deal. Thank you very much indeed. Until next time, keep creating.